Alright, we're the Hebrew Israelite. And we come out week in and week out to preach this beautiful gospel that our people need.
That's right.
So we would like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Waha, Racha, Wadash. Shalom, Wahab to the, I mean, double honor to the apostle who teach and rule well.
That's
right. And Shalom, Wahab to the brother who put his truth all across the globe. And Shalom, Wahab to the sisters, the Akia Fwam, and the Aquafiam, and the Akiams.
That's right.
All right, we keep it real. And, you know, who accepted the truth, whether it's 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 6 months, or even yesterday.
That's right.
And who are hoping to be saved for the time.
That's right, that's right. Now hopefully that.
All right, so, like I was saying with my brothers, Christianity, what did you say? Say that again? But that will be the title of our teaching today.
Yeah, Christianity is, the rejection of Christianity is the beginning of wisdom.
I like the way you put it out, man. I like the way you put it together, you know?
It's the beginning of wisdom.
Yeah,
and
that's
I know
right.
that goes against scripture, because scripture says, what does it say in regards to wisdom? You know, there's a scripture that deals with wisdom.
Yeah, he said the beginning of wisdom is the fear. The fear of the Most High. Yeah, it's the beginning
of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Yeah.
A good understanding have all those who keep His commandments.
That's right.
So I'm not negating that. I'm upholding the scripture. But I just add it.
That's how it is, isn't it? Yeah, you know, that's a good thing, man.
Yeah.
But okay, so yesterday, when I called you, because funny enough, Brother Abadiah, he called me, and then we was talking about that, and he was like, he wanted to deal with the brother that came last time.
That's right.
But then for the spirit, you told me yesterday that it's still in your heart, and you wanted to talk about that as well.
To talk about it, because it's a big stumbling block.
So yeah, give the introduction,
right.
And then we're gonna bring out the words.
The topic of the day is, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is one of the major stumbling blocks for Yasha Allah, or I'll call him Jake at this stage, Jake, right, for accepting the truth, or one of the stumbling blocks that prevent Jake from accepting the truth, and that is the term Gentiles, the term Jew, and the inclusion of everybody into the promise.
Right.
Which is one of the Christian tenets.
All right, so there you go. We're gonna kick it off. You know, and the brother is right, because a lot of our people, if you look at me, at some point I was in the churches, man.
That's right. Me too.
And at some point I thought that the other nation
could be saved.
Could be saved, and I thought that the term Greek and Gentiles in the New Testament pertains to the other nation.
To foreigners. Yeah.
All right? Not even to foreigners, but actually the foreigners is us.
I know, but at that
that's
time,
fine. The first meaning of Gentiles,
exactly,
the non-Israelite.
That's right.
So, if you look at Ta'anif, before he came, there were like the sisters that, distributing the leaflet.
Okay.
About Christianity.
That's right.
A lot of people are into Christianity, and
that's right.
They don't understand the Bible. So, since the Most High say that they were going to see the teachers,
right?
All right? So that's what we're doing, man. We just
let me just add to, not only they don't understand the Bible, which is correct, they don't understand Christianity.
Yes. And that's a very good point.
They don't understand Christianity.
Because today, Christianity, when you say Christianity, people put their eyes and they see the bug out Christianity.
That's right.
But actually, the original Christian is us. Alright? Because when you talk about the Antioch,
yeah, I'm there now.
Get out.
Right. So let me get the Christian one.
Yeah,
right. So this is the book of Acts, chapter 11 and verse 26. And when he had found him, No, let me go a verse up for the context. So it's the book of Acts, chapter 11, verse 25. Then departed Barnabas to Tarsus for to seek Saul, otherwise known as Paul.
Yep.
Verse 26. And when he had found him, meaning when Barnabas had found Paul or Saul, he brought him unto Antioch.
Right.
And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church, which is the called out assembly of Yashala, and taught much people, and the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch.
Right. So obviously, when you hear the term Antiochians,
That's right.
and when you hear the term Christians,
That's right.
that has to do with who? With our people, man.
That's us.
All right, we the original Christians.
That's right.
But fast forward, you know, Constantine, which is our people, but people we don't know. Constantine is a nigger, man.
That's right.
All right? He's the one that came up with the, he probably must have been from the tribe of Levi.
That's right.
And he came up with, because when you look at Christianity, when you look at the mass, the thing that they call the mass, which is like the, in French, the mess.
Yeah.
La messe. All right? It's pagan, but from the garment, the altar, the incense, the way they do things, there is the
ancient Hebrew practices.
ancient tabernacle,
Yeah.
Hebrew tabernacle practice, but it's pagan because they're worshiping another god. They
That's
don't
right.
worship the Most High.
That's right.
They're into idol worship.
In other words, you could call it a Hebrewism of a sort.
Right.
So you could see it.
So our people went off and created their own thing, but then Esau, he took it as a political social
That's right.
tool to kind of, but therefore that was a brilliant idea to control the people. So they took it, and that's how they came, you know.
Well, let me just add to the scholarship. So basically, the first 300 years. So what I just read here, this is Acts. So Acts starts exactly after Yahushua was executed or sacrificed as an atonement sacrifice for us. Sister, hello. Yeah? So Acts starts exactly after Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John is finished, which is the account of Yahushua and his life, his bringing his disciples into the fold, and also his execution and rebirth. Then come Acts. So in Acts, the people that they're calling here, the disciples, they're the disciples of Christ.
Right.
They're not what we know as Christians.
That's
they
right.
were the followers of Yahushua HaMashiach. Right? Now the reason why they call them Christians, that was like a derogatory term, because number one, the term Christ is a Greek translation of anointed or Hamashiach. So they were calling him Christ, and that's kind of derogatory because he was supposed to be called Hamashiach. Right? So it's like how they call us black, or they call us nigger, or they call us all these derogatory terms. This in a sense was a derogatory term. Right? But be that as it may, what it's highlighting is that the first Christians were disciples of Hamashiach, Yahushua, Jesus Christ. Then what happened? 300 years of persecution. So for 300 years, the Romans were actually trying to stamp out this new religion, because this new religion, the tenet was, there's one God, which I will quote the Hebrew motto, which is Shammai Yasha'Allah, Yahweh Alahayanawa, Yahweh Akkad, which means Yahweh is one God and there's no other God but Yahweh. That's what it means, right? So the Romans, they had many gods. The Caesars, they classed themselves as a god, and every nation that they took over, they incorporated their gods into their system as a means of control. So there was a power struggle, and Constantine resolved the power struggle by having a conference, and in the conference, what he did, he forced everybody in the conference of Nicaea to follow what they call the Nicene doctrine, which is God is God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost. That's three. And also incorporating the pagan belief system and putting it into what they then call Christianity. So I say all of that just to say that what we now call Christianity is not the original Christianity.
Right. And also, the term Christian would mean follower of Christ.
That's right.
Hamashiach Yam.
That's right.
So that's why they're called Hamashiach Yam.
Hamashiach Yam.
Hebrew.
That's right.
All right, but those were our people, man.
That's right.
All right, go to Act 13, the one. Let's read that one.
That's right.
Because we're going to move into
That's
depth.
right. That's right. That's right. So this is the book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 1. So before I read that, I just want to say it's beautiful that the brother would call this scripture out. Because in the spirit, earlier on you mentioned nigger, and we look at nigger, but nigger's a derogatory term. But nigger also means something else, so we're going to bring that up now. So this is the book of Acts, chapter 13 and verse 1. Now there were in the church, the called out assembly, that was at Antioch, certain prophets and teachers as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Manaen, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch, and Saul, otherwise known as Paul.
Right, so you can see the term Niger.
Right.
Okay, that's the reason why in West Africa you got a river called Niger.
Right.
That's because people lived around it. And then you have Negro land, that's coming from that.
That's
right. You got Nigeria and things like that. And then you go then they call it the niggers because they're both. Actually,
there's a country called Niger too.
Yeah, Niger.
Yeah.
All right. Right, but Niger is a mix of Hamite.
No, I know. But I'm saying it's called that. You got Jake there too.
But Jake used to be there. That's why they call that place. They call that river the Niger River. Right? All right. So when you look at fundamental, terms like in the New Testament, and you make like a study, a normal study, you will come to the conclusion that these people were Negroes.
That's right.
All right, now let's study. Let's go to Galatians 3. I had a discussion with my brother. School me on that, so I will share it with the brother.
Galatians 3 now.
Go to 28.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 3, and verse 28.
Right.
There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female.
Right, so Christian get distracted. Hey, my brother, how you doing? You good?
Shalom, brother.
They get taken by that word Greek.
That's right.
All right? They get taken by that word Greek. They don't understand that actually the Greek are Hebrew Israelite. And I'll prove that. We brought that out on Saturday.
That's right.
But it's always good to bring it out. Yeah? So bear with me out. Bear with me. Acts 6. I know you got it. So go to Acts 6, read it slowly, and then we're going to read it in another version.
Right.
The people will understand what it really is, what Greek means. All right?
Acts 6
Acts 6 and 1.
Oh. So this is the book of Acts, chapter 6 and verse 1.
Yeah.
And in those days, when the number of the disciples,
Those days were the number of the disciples,
the Hamashiachim,
right? The
Hamashiachim, were multiplied,
yeah.
There arose a murmuring of the Grecians.
Right, there a murmuring of the Grecians, because when you go to Joel, he tells you about how the Grecians took our people. So you have to be spiritual, like I say. You have to understand context.
That's right.
The Grecian that they're talking about in Joel and the Grecian they're talking about here is two different things. The Grecian they're talking about in Joel has to do with the Edomites.
Right.
But the Grecian they're talking about here has to do with a certain people that are Hebrew Israelite.
Right.
But the only difference is like they took on the Greekish fashion.
And let me just add to that scholarship too. So when you read Acts 1, the word Grecian, when you look at the number 1 here and you come down here, it says Hellenists. And Hellenists were the Greek-speaking Jews.
That's right, and that's what you say here.
Absolutely.
So you see, even that version is right because that's what it says. Because in the note here, it says Hellenists.
Right.
All right. So those are the Hellenists. We come from the term Hellen. It's Hellen, which is Hellenist, which is a Greek-speaking Jew, and that's what it says.
That's right.
In Acts 6 and 1. In the NET version, the New English translation, it says this. Act 6 and 1. Now, in those days, when the disciples were growing in number, a complaint arose on the part of the Greek-speaking Jews.
That's right.
The Grecians.
That's right.
The Greek-speaking Jews.
That's right.
Against the native Hebraic Jews.
That's right.
All right, so you can see that that's what Paul saying. There's no difference between the Jews and the Greek. Why? Because they are the same people.
That's right.
All right. The only difference is that. Let's go to Acts 16. I want to make a point. Let's go to Acts 16.
Yeah, definitely. So we're in the book of Acts, chapter 16.
Let's start from 1.
We're in the book of Acts, chapter 16, starting from verse 1.
Right.
And it reads, Then came he to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there named Timotheus, the son of a certain woman, which was a Jewess, and believed, but his father was a Greek.
Right, so you got a mother that is a Jew, meaning she practiced the Jew culture. She meaning she keeping the law,
statutes and commandments.
Right, and you got a father, which is a Greek-speaking Jew.
That's right.
Like he don't want to know about his culture.
That's right.
He just want to eat swine.
That's
he just want to leave. He just want to be.
Where do you based?
Right? Huh?
Where do you based?
Well, every Monday we here. And then
every Sabbath.
Who's asking? Who's asking?
Yeah.
Does he know about the Hebrew Israel?
What tribe are you?
I'm Judah. He's a northern tribe.
Asher.
I know. You're Jamaican, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah.
But I see you sometime in my area, man.
All right. So we're here on Mondays. And we're in Brixton on Saturday.
When I see you next time, we're going to talk. Can you, okay? All right, then.
Shalom.
See, the truth is catching on fire, man. So, yeah, so you've got a situation here where if a Christian don't understand what it means, it's going to think that Timothy was a mixed race guy.
A European.
The European, his dad is a Greek. Well, that's not what he said because it's going to prove it. Carry on. So I'm saying that the Greek, when we read, we're going to go, after that we're going to go to Maccabees. And the book of Maccabees will clarify why you got the term Greek in the New Testament.
That's right. And how it came about.
How it came about. So yeah, carry on.
Verse 2, which was well reported of by the brethren that were at Lystra and Iconium.
Right.
Iconium. Verse 3, him would Paul, otherwise known as Saul, have to go forth with him and took and circumcised him because of the Jews which were in those quarters.
So, them other nations don't want to be circumcised. Case in point. The reason why our people didn't circumcise back in those days because they left the custom. So why would Paul want him to be circumcised? Because he wanted him to get back to to his heritage. He wanted him to connect back to Yahweh. Because circumcision is a covenant between the children of Israel and the Most High. All right, so that's one point. Now let's go to our second Maccabees 4 and 9. Yeah, that's the second Maccabees 4. So we're gonna explain to them how our people became Greek. All right, what's your name? Shireen. I'll speak to you next time, yeah?
So this is the book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 9, or do you want to start verse?
It's not 7.
Yeah, exactly, verse 7. So this is the book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 7. But after the death of Seleucus, when Antiochus, otherwise called Epiphanes, took the kingdom, Jason, the brother of Onias, labored underhand to be the high priest. But when it says labored underhand, it means that he was being sneaky, being crafty, and being like what we would call a backstabber, coming from behind. But in the gospel scriptures, they use the phrase labored underhand to be high priest. Verse 8, promising unto the king by intercession 360 talents of silver, and of another revenue 80 talents. Meaning he tried to bribe the king. Verse 9. Besides this, he promised to assign 150 more if he might have license to set him up a place for exercise.
All right, so we all know that gymnasium, it comes from the all right, so the gyms, because they're like, you know, like the things that were homosexual. So they like to see how people lately were abusing that. That's where it comes from. All right, so all of those things, because our people, we didn't need to go to our everyday life was gym. We were dealing with hardcore stuff. Everything was, you know, we were men. All right, so that's where it's coming from, the Greek fashion, and he will tell you, he will tell when you read it. He will tell you. Carry on.
And for the training up of youth in the fashions of the heathen, and to write them of Jerusalem by the name of Antiochus.
Right, by the name of Antiochus. So that's how, that's just like what you got brothers calling themselves British.
Exactly.
You got sister calling themselves, oh, where are you from? They might be from Jamaica, they will say, my parents, I'm from Jamaican. This is,
that's the same.
you know what I'm saying? But I'm British.
The spirit bearing witness.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I'm British. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You got brothers that were, you know, they will call themselves
Antiochus. Right.
because they were conquered by a people.
Absolutely.
All right, they were conquered by them Greek people.
Absolutely.
All right, carry on.
Verse 10. Which, when the king had granted, and he had gotten into his hand the rule, meaning that he had got the license, and a license means a permission to do something. So he got the permission or the license into his hand. He forthwith brought his own nation. Now, by the way, this guy was a Hebrew Israelite. He brought his own nation to the Greekish fashion.
He brought his own nation to the Greekish fashion, man. Meaning, he imposed the Greekish way, the Greek custom on his own people. So fast forward now, coming to the New Testament, in the Roman captivity, after Yahushua dies, you got people that are scattered in Asia Minor, in Greece, and all the town, you know, in Europe and now. All of those are that's the reason why. Go to Acts. Go to Acts 2.
Right. And I just want to add too, right? This guy, whose name was, let's get his name, because we need to know his name.
Who?
Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
Right? The brother of Onias.
Yeah.
His name's Jason.
Yeah.
So remember that name. He was one of the first coups on record.
Yeah.
Because that's a coup.
Yeah.
You need to mark them when you find them. Right? So
There's a lot of them now.
yeah, but he was one of the first.
Yeah, he was the first man.
So he needs to be marked.
He's the original Don
The
Dada.
original Don Dada coup. So we're in Acts now.
He's the godfather. Go to Acts 2. And we're going to prove to them that
That's
at this point, At this point, our people are scattered. Man. At this point, our people. Oh, yeah. See, you wouldn't know.
That's what, like I said,
Hey,
mark them. Mark them when you see them.
That's why the Bible says He will let them go to the point when at the appointed time, it's
going to be in the wilderness.
It will create separation. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, read that. Acts 2, let's start at 5.
So this is the book of Acts, chapter 2, and we're starting at verse 5.
Right.
And they were dwelling at
Jerusalem,
Jews,
right?
devout men out of every nation under heaven, man. Go on. Verse 6. Now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language.
Right, so they were born in Arabia, they were born in Greece, they were born in wherever. Elam, so they spoke the language perfectly. Alright? But then they weren't Hellenists though, they were Hellenists.
That's right.
But you had amongst them, they left brothers that were in the same area they came from, that wouldn't dare to come to Jerusalem.
That's right.
They wouldn't even bother. They didn't
That's
even,
right.
What are you doing? No, we're not keeping that.
That's right.
We Greeks, man.
They're the Antiochians.
You know what I'm saying? The Antiochians. Alright, so that needs to be clear in your head. It's a history you have to learn before you open your mouth talking about the Most High is saving everyone.
Right.
You gotta be learned, man.
Right.
Christians go to school, they have degrees and all of that, but they don't know how to write the word, like study
the word. Right.
Study to show yourself approved. They don't do that.
No.
They want to go off feelings, man. Let's look at facts, man.
They don't do the Isaiah 28 and 10 of it.
Exactly. Let's look at facts. Let's look at facts. And that's what we're doing. We are visiting or revisiting history.
Right. That's what research is.
All right.
Again.
Read that.
Right, so I'm going to read it, but before I read it, there's something else I want to add. Not only were these, what do they call them? Men from every nation speaking Hebrew, but they were speaking Hebrew in the Galilean tongue, which means they couldn't tell the difference from the way they were speaking. So I speak English, this brother speaks English. A man in America might speak English, but you can tell the difference. You couldn't tell the difference. So anyway, let's get back to it. So this is Acts chapter 2 and verse 7.
Right.
And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans?
Right.
Which was the ends,
right.
Which was like Taunton Heath,
right.
Where the Jews dwell.
Right.
Verse 8, and how hear we every man in our own tongue?
That's right. That's right.
Wherein we were born.
Hello, sisters. Do you know that you're Hebrew Israelite? Where are you from? Oh, Brazil.
Right. Brazil means iron in Hebrew. You are Hebrew Israelite. Verse 9. Parthians and Medes.
Right. So that's where they came from, you know. Parthians
and Medes, and Elamites, and the dwellers in Mesopotamia, and in Judea, and in Cappadocia, in Pontus, in Asia, Pamphylia, and Pamphylia, in Egypt.
So there were people were all over the place, and those were the Gentiles. Those when Jack, let me read it quickly, man. When
Yaquab, supplanter, heel tripper.
And when James, here it says Jacob.
James means Yaquab.
It said James 1 verse 1. James, a servant of Yahweh and of the Lord Yahweh to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings. those are the 12 tribes that
That's
are scattered
right.
abroad.
That's right.
So you had, and then among these ones, you had those who went every year to Galilee, to Judea.
As they were ordered.
All right. And you had you had a group that never went there because they didn't want to do, they didn't want anything to do with the Jew custom.
That's right.
But they were following after the British fashion.
So they were the Antiochians,
All
the
right.
Herodians, the people that
The Corinthians,
right.
the Galatians,
That's right.
so on and so forth.
Right.
All right. So how is it difficult to How is that difficult to understand?
So they would be the modern day black British, African American,
Black French,
black Caribbean,
Caribbean,
black,
German.
Brasileira,
Hey, we
Los
are
Brasileiros.
the foreign. We are the
We are the
Israelite foreigners.
We are scattered abroad.
Scattered abroad. That's us today.
Just look at the prophecies.
All right.
And look
That's
at this
us.
picture. Yeah, let's get back.
But we're coming back now to it. Yeah. Yeah. Carry on.
Continue.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the book of Acts chapter 2, and we're in verse 10. Phrygia and Pamphylia in Egypt, and in the parts of Libya, about Cyrene, which is North Africa, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes. Verse 11. Cretes, Cretians, and Arabians, we do hear them speak in our tongues the wonderful works of God, Yahweh power.
That's right. All right. Now let's go to Acts. Man. Let's play with it, man.
Yeah, man.
Let's talk about Cornelius, man.
That's right.
We're getting back to Galatians 3:28 though.
That's right.
But we're gonna make like a 360 and we're gonna come back home.
That's right.
Let's play. Let's go. Let's go town to town.
Right.
Let's go to Acts.
All right. Yeah. We're
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Act 10.
Acts 10. Here we go. So
Act 10. We're gonna start.
yeah, Acts 10. There was a 10 on 1.
So you read 10 all the way to 2. I mean, had that devout man.
Right. So that alone tells you he was a Jew.
People need to open their eyes, man.
Because to be a devout man, you have to be a follower of the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right, so-
and you also have to be in the faith with Yahweh or Yahweh
So
Shai.
you read that all the way to 2.
Yeah, and
Sorry,
then
all the way to 2, and then you go to when he was
yeah, so the vision would be from 12,
12. So start 1 to 2,
and then go to 10. Right? So this is the book of Acts, chapter 10, from verse 1 to 2. And it reads, there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band.
Right. It's centurion because it's like me when I was young, they called me to go to the French army.
Right.
Yeah. I went to a camp for a few weeks when I was like 17.
That's right.
I went back to Ivory Coast, man. I didn't want nothing to do with
I
it.
don't wrong you.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't want nothing to do. I was listening to rap, and them French rappers was like, don't go to them foolishness,
That's
man.
right.
You don't want to go there. We want to don't. Our parents serve them already. We don't want to serve them
That's
anymore.
right.
All right. So you go up to this day. You go black in the
Military
French
on the
military, in the British military, in the American military, so on and so forth. It's always been the case. They always hired the Jake to do the work, to do the war.
Or enslave them.
All right, case in point. What's his name? This guy.
Hitler?
No. Septimus Severus. Septimus Severus was born somewhere in North
Cyrene,
Africa.
yeah.
All right.
Or Numidia.
And then he was a young, armed. They took him to the army.
Shalom.
Before you know it, they sent him to Italy.
And he excelled.
All right, and he excelled. And then he became emperor because he took over.
Took it over, yeah.
All right, and that's what Jake do.
That's right.
All right.
Jake in the right mind.
So when you see, read it again that part.
This is the book of Acts chapter 10 and verse 1. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion, meaning he was in charge of 100 men
Right.
of the band which is a true Paul Italian band.
Wasn't Paul
An Italian, a Roman, yeah.
Paul was a Roman citizen, man. How people been like that?
Because when one says they're Roman, what they're saying is that I'm an Italian from the city called Rome, which was the center of Italy. Just like if I say I'm a Londoner, what I'm saying is that I'm from Britain, from the city called London.
And also, the Jacobites were Roman.
That's right.
On that paper, by city.
That's right.
On paper, all right? They were Roman.
They all were, because Rome controlled the known world at that time.
All right?
Yeah, they were.
Because we were controlling Rome.
That's right.
The Byzantine Empire
That's
is
right.
a part of the Roman Empire.
That's right. It's called the Eastern Roman Empire.
All right? So that's history that people, the Christian, need to get, need to understand, and need to know before they're coming and shout things that have
That's
nothing
right.
to do with anything.
That's right.
Before you start chatting foolishness, know your work, man. Know what you're talking
Do
about.
some research.
Do some research,
scholarship.
man. You lot are too lazy, man. That's the thing about you lot. You're lazy. That's why I go and sit down in churches and believe what the pastor's telling you. Come on, man. Anyway, let's carry on.
Verse 2. A devout
A
man.
devout man. When we read Act 2, what was he saying? Devout Jews
Right.
that came from all over the globe.
That's right.
So he's only a devout Jews. Another non-Israelite. A non-Israelite cannot be a devout man.
No.
You will, as we read it, you will understand why they say he's a devout man.
That's right.
All right, it has to do with the law. Come on.
Well, it says this here now. And one that feared God.
One that fear Yahweh. What it is to fear Yahweh? To fear
The fear
Yahweh
of Yahweh is
is
the
to keep
beginning of wisdom.
Yeah, but to fear Yahweh to keep the commandment.
That's right.
Only
is the
one
fear of the
country
Lord.
was given to one people was given the commandment.
The Lord's statutes and commandments.
Let's carry on that.
A devout man, and one that feared Yahweh with all his house,
Yeah?
which gave much alms to the people, and prayed to Yahweh always.
Right. Esau and praying to know. Have you heard that? You know, what's his name? Alexander the Great, the tree or whatever. That guy. Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard that Epiphanes prayed to the Most High? Have you ever heard that the Romans at some point prayed one day in the battle? They couldn't fight the Jews. They tried to pray to the God, the Jews, to the God of the Jews, to Yahweh, so he could get help. No, it's not in them.
So let me
to
just
pray.
say one thing here. There's one Edomite that I can tell you, he didn't pray to Yahweh, but he sacrificed unto Yahweh. Yahweh used him to talk to Balak, but he got executed.
But that's the Moabite.
No, Balak was a descendant of God. But he got, but
He
he
was
got,
the Moabite.
well, the Moabites, Balak was a Moabite, so he called him to tell him how to deal with our people. Right? But to cut a long story short, he got killed like a pig. He got dealt with. Right. So
That's why he said, what have you to do with my Lord?
that's right.
The most I hate when they even try to do that.
That's right.
You
That's
do
right.
when we even say in Malachi 1 and 14 that my name is dreadful among the heathen.
Among the heathen,
He don't
yeah.
want you lot to even say his name.
That's why he bugged them out.
All
That's
right.
why they bugged them.
That's why they have to come with Jehovah, Yahweh, all of that.
Yahweh,
You
all
can't
this
say Yahweh.
celebrating,
Then when I go when they go to the seminary, they know Yahweh.
they know it.
They
know
learn
it,
Hebrew, but they
yeah.
can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
All right.
Verse 3. He saw in a vision, evidently, about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of God coming in to him and saying unto him, Cornelius.
All right. So the angel of the Most High, if you notice, they always come to who? To Jacob.
That's right.
They came to Moses. They came to Daniel. They came to Ezekiel. They came to Mary. All right. They came
Let me
right. The angel come to the people, man. That's why he says in Daniel 12 and 1, in that day, you know, Michael should stand up for his people.
That's right.
All right, they're ministering an agent for us. Not for the other nations. So the Most High, why would you just send the angel to a heathen for
Right,
what?
so let's prove it now. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verses 19 and 20. He showeth his word unto Jacob,
That's right.
his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
That's right.
He have not dealt so with any nation.
He has not dealt so with any nation, meaning that he doesn't deal with them other nations, man. He doesn't deal with them. Case in point, in Elam right now, what are they doing? Throwing the idols.
That's right.
That means they've been worshiping idols the whole time. That's what they
Vanity.
do.
That's right.
All right, they don't worship God. They don't worship Yahweh,
right.
sorry. They worship their own God.
That's
The
right.
Bible says he given them idols.
He crafted delusions for them.
He giving them idols,
He
man.
made them
So
false
the,
gods to worship.
so that, the word is not for the Hebrew Israelite. The word, Salakia, man.
For the heathen, for the Quran.
The word is not for the heathens.
No.
The word is for the Hebrew Israelites.
That's right.
All right, carry on now. Salakia.
Right. So we're back in Acts chapter 10
Then jump to
and jump to verse 10. 10 and 10. Yeah. And he start now. So this is the book of Acts chapter 10. We're starting at verse 9. On the morrow, meaning on the morning or in the morning, as they went on their journey, and drew nigh, meaning drew near, unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour.
Right.
Verse 10. And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance.
Right.
So while they were cooking the food or getting the food prepared,
Right.
he fell into a deep trance.
Right.
Verse 11. And saw heaven open, and a certain vessel descended unto him, as it had been a great sheet,
Right.
knit at the four corners, and let down to the earth.
And you Christian need to stop using that to say that, oh, you can eat now pork and anything. Don't be simple, man.
That is very
All right, that's very simple. He was just showing, the reason why he's showing the animals because he was hungry.
That's right.
All right, that's how they also he was showing him the vision about it. About it's symbolic. All right, but you if you read it carefully, you will understand that it's about a people, it's not about food.
No.
But that's when you listen to these to Pastor Pepperoni.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm past the pork chop.
Yeah, bring it out.
Verse 11. Salakia, verse 12. Wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth,
Right.
and wild beasts, and creeping things,
Right.
and fowls of the air.
Right.
Verse 13. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter,
Right.
kill and eat.
Right.
But Peter said, Not so, Lord.
Right.
For I have never eaten anything
That's right.
that is common or unclean.
So Paul, he didn't understand the vision of what the Most High was telling him at first. He was like, no, I'm not eating that. But the Most High was coming to him from a different angle, which we'll understand later. Carry on.
Verse 15. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, What God hath cleansed, what Yahweh hath cleansed, that call not thou common.
All right, so what the Most High has cleansed, that called not that common. Meaning, the Most High was about now to bring the northern tribe and also
Somebody that was seen as a Gentile.
the Gentiles. He was about now to bring them, you know,
Up to
to
the
bring
throne.
them together. The Most High was working now after Yahweh has died. All right,
That's right.
The Most High was working now to bring those two together.
That's right.
All right, yeah, carry on.
Verse 16. This was done thrice. So basically the conversation between the voice and Peter, where the voice said, What Yahweh have cleansed, call not common, and then Peter saying that I have not ate anything that was common or unclean. This was done 3 times. Now, in the scriptures, when something is done 3 times, it's done for emphasis, to emphasize the importance of what is being said.
Yeah, let me read this one quickly. Yeah,
Right.
John 10 and 16.
Bring it out.
And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold,
That's right.
them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold
That's right.
and one shepherd.
That's right.
You will understand what we're doing in Ezekiel 37. Alright? So Yahweh, when he came to bring the two nations and turn them into one nation.
Right.
Because there was a split.
Right.
See, all of those things are spiritual. So the Most High, it was working miracle in that Peter is.
Yeah.
Peter prayed.
Yep.
Because
In the
Peter
vision, yeah.
was who? He was the commander in chief. He was like the rock.
Peter was the rock of the Jews, meaning
The church, he was the rock of the church.
yeah, but
was the
remember
head of the church.
Yahweh Shai, when he asked his disciples, who am I? Peter through the Spirit said, you are Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, through the Spirit. And Christ said, okay, you shall be the rock of my church.
Right.
So what Peter represented was the Jews who knew they were Jews, but did not have the faith in Yahweh Shai. He was the minister to them. Paul, on the other hand, was the minister to the Gentiles, the people that, the Hebrew Israelites that did not know.
Yes, that's right.
Right. So now, listen to this. So there's something here that I've never heard a pastor bring out, but we're going to bring it out here now. Listen to this.
I would.
Verse 17. Now, while Peter doubted in himself what his vision which he had seen should mean, because Peter had never eaten unclean or he had never broken the Levitical law of what you can eat and what you cannot eat. So he doubted what this vision meant, because this thing came down from heaven with all these unclean meat. Now what the next line says is, which he, now let me read it from the start again. Now while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simeon's house and stood before the gate. I jumped a verse, so let me read this again. This is the verse, this is the book of Acts chapter 10, verse 16. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven. So this is the point that I wanted to bring out. The pastors never tell you that the unclean meats that were brought down were brought back up into heaven, and Peter never ate of these unclean meats.
That's a point.
They never mention that. So they mention the unclean meats, and they say, look brother, you can eat pork now.
Well, although it doesn't even talk about that anyway.
I know, but I'm just saying, this is what the Christians pastors say. Brother, you can eat it, just pray over it. But what this verse clearly says is that the vessel was received up again into heaven, and Peter had not eaten of it. Right, so now we're in verse 17. Now while Peter doubted in himself what his vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simeon's house.
So now go to jump to 25.
So this is the book of Acts, chapter 10 and verse 25. And it reads, and as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshipped him. Verse 26. But Peter took him up, saying, stand up, I myself am a man. Verse 27. And he talked with him, went in, and found many that were come together. Verse 28. And he said unto them, ye know how that it is an unlawful thing.
Right. How is it a lawful thing
For a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation? But God Yahweh have showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
Right. So read that again, 28.
So this is the book of Acts, chapter 10, and verse 28.
Right.
And it reads, and he said unto them, ye know how that it is an lawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation.
Right. So because from the split, the Jews never raided the northern tribe, and also they never raided the people from the southern tribe that were lost. That was Greek now. Right, so to speak. So they
were seen as being from another nation.
Yeah, they're seen as being heathens.
That's right.
So that's what Paul was saying, but it comes from I will read. Let me read because I read John 10. I read John 10. 10 and 16. Huh? Let me read that again. Let me bring that one again, and people can understand what's going on here. What is Yahweh establishing through the Spirit? But that's the reason why he commissioned Paul, you know.
Exactly.
John 10 and 16, and other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd, right? So I'll read. You want to read or should I read it?
Yeah, read. I'm looking for something. Yeah. So I want to illustrate the split. The split between
Yeah, read that.
Right. So this is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verses 16 and 17. Verse 16. For Israel, which is the northern kingdom in this context, for Israel slided back as a backsliding heifer.
That's right.
Now the Lord Yahweh will feed them as a lamb in a large place.
Feed them as a lamb in a large place.
Verse 17. Ephraim is joined to idol.
Right.
Let him alone.
All right. So Ephraim is joined to idol.
Right.
You know, leave him alone, man.
So this is where the split occurred.
That's right.
Between, not so much between the northern and the southern kingdom, but this is where the northern kingdom was seen as not even being Israelites.
They were seen as being heathen. So that's the little. So now this is what I read John 10 and 16 about Yahweh shall say that he doesn't have a fold, right?
That's right.
That's what he came to do.
That's right.
All right, he came to bring them together. So Ezekiel 37, I will start at 16.
God.
Moreover, thou son of man, take thee as one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions.
That's right.
Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companion, the other tribes.
Which is what I just brought out.
Right. Verse 17, and join them one to another.
That's right.
Unto one stick.
That's right.
And they shall become one in thy hand. Verse 18, and when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Verse 19, say unto them, thus say the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribe of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and there shall be one in mine hand. Verse 20, and the stick whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before the eyes. Right? Verse 21, and saying unto them, thus saying the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen,
that's right,
whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side,
that's right,
and bring them into their own land.
That's right.
Verse 22, and I will make them one nation.
That's right.
In the land upon the mountain of Israel.
That's right.
And one king shall be the king to them all, and there shall be no more two nations.
That's right.
Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore.
That's right.
Oh.
And I have the precept for here, which is
all
John
right.
10 and 16.
Yeah, bring it out.
We start from 15. So in the book of John chapter 10, I'll start at verse 15. As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father.
That's right.
And I lay down my life for the sheep. The sheep is symbolic of Israel or Yasha'Allah, because the goats is symbolic of the Edomites.
Right.
So that's why Yahweh is going to separate the sheep from the goats.
Right.
Right? Verse 16. And other sheep I have which are not of this fold,
Right.
them also I must bring.
Right.
And they shall hear my voice,
Right.
and there shall be one fold
Right.
and one shepherd.
That's right. So go down to go back to Acts 10
Acts 10.
and go to verse 35 and 36.
Right. So this is the book of Acts, chapter 10, verses 35 and 36. And it reads, but in every nation he that feareth him.
So when he said, and in every nation we that fear him, Pastor Macaroni, you say, see,
That's the pork chop.
Pastor Pork Chop and pepperoni, sorry,
Pepperoni pizza.
pepperoni pizza, we say that, all you see,
That's
it doesn't
everybody.
matter, everybody. No, we explained to you, man. In verse 36, we explain that again. All right? We are scattered all over the place, man.
That's right.
Bring it out.
This is the book of Acts chapter 10 and verse 35. But in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him.
Right.
So this is alluding to faith with works. Verse
Right.
36. The word which God Yahweh power sent unto the children of Israel,
Right.
preaching peace, shalom by Jesus Christ, by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. He is Lord of all.
Right. So it's clear and more than clear that we're talking about a Hebrew Israelite.
God.
No other nation.
That's right.
Now let's go back now and finish it off Galatians 3 and 28. Let's go back home.
That's right. So this is the book of Galatians, chapter 3 and verse 28. There is neither Jew nor Greek.
Right, there is neither Jew nor Greek, right?
There is neither bond nor free.
Right. So we explained that already. Went to Acts 6 for explaining.
That's right.
I want you now to jump to go to 13 now.
This is the book of Galatians chapter 3.
We will understand that these Galatians are not in the Hebrew Israelites.
That's right.
We will explain. We will
That's
show you
right.
that.
That's right. This is the book of Galatians chapter 3 and verse 13. Christ, HaMashiach,
Christ and Mashiach,
have redeemed us
Yahweh Shai Mashiach, right?
from the curse of the law.
From the curse of the law. He has
Right.
redeemed us from the curse of the law. Now the question to ask is, who is under the law? To whom the law was given? Go to prove him to them. Go to
Yeah.
Daniel 9 and 11.
Daniel.
Because you have to understand, man, it's not everyone is not under the curse of the law,
That's
man.
right.
Because everyone wasn't in the number 24 and 8 when, you know, when you weren't there, you even weren't there when Moses was sprinkling blood over our ancestors.
That's right.
You weren't there, your ancestors weren't there. So how come now you want to be part of our faith? You weren't there when we were in the desert. No one was there, man.
We went there when we
All
were
right.
under the cloud and we passed through the Red Sea.
Right, we're going to talk about that as well. You know?
So this is the book of 9. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 11. Yea, all Israel, Kal Yashala, have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses.
Right. So, there you go. All right. Go back now to Galatians, man. I hope he seasoned in your spirit. All right. I hope you sinking in, sit down, relax, and think about that.
Right. Please, I beg
All
you,
right.
please do
Think about
that.
that. So read the 13 again.
So this is the book of Galatians chapter 3 and verse 13. Christ, HaMashiach, have redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is everyone that hangeth on a tree.
Right. Now go to 1 Corinthians 10 and 1. We're gonna stop, you know. Prove to them that all throughout the New Testament, It's about a people. Paul is moving to a certain people. He's moving to his kinsmen. All right, he's moving to his fellow Hebrew Israelites. His kindred. He's not moving to other nations.
Actually, let me bring that up to you. So, this is the book of Romans, chapter 9. So this is dealing with who Paul is come to spread the word. This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, and I'll read from 1 to 4. I say the truth in Christ, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost, in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart, in my mind, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, not no spiritual kinsmen.
That's right.
According to the flesh, therefore, who are Israelites.
Israelites. So the Bible is about the Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
The New Testament is about the Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
And salvation is about the Hebrew Israelite.
That's
and
right.
the Hebrew Israelite are the so-called Negro, the so-called Native American, the so-called Taino, Arawak, the so-called Spanish. We are the children of Israel.
That's right.
No, never. And our God don't deal with other nations, man. And the Most High, through His Son, is coming soon to get us out of here, man.
That's right. And just to add to that,
all right?
too, from West Africa, from Senegal, go all the way down to Angola, and the adjoining islands, Saint Tome, Cape Verde, all those islands.
That's right. So the Most High, and that's the reason why there is war in the land in Israel, because the Most High is cleaning up. Right, it will clean up, and then we're gonna go and sit there and rule over Europe. Because we've been suffering for too long, man. You know I'm not taking us seriously, man.
That's right.
You think we're wasting our time standing and doing nothing, but you don't understand that what the Most High is doing. Because you're not spiritual. Alright? You're not spiritual, so you don't understand what the Most High is doing. Most High is long suffering, man. You will see in due time.
But his hands are not short that it cannot work.
That's right.
Don't ever get it twisted.
Yeah, bring the last precept, man.
So, was it Corinthians 1, you said? Corinthians 10 and 1. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant.
That's right.
How that all our fathers were under the cloud.
All our fathers. So if the Corinthians was Greeks, European, I'd like to know if the European would pass, how do you say that?
Pass through the Red Sea.
Pass through the Red Sea.
Into the wilderness.
Only the Hebrew Israelites pass through the Red Sea, man. No Arabs, no Pakistanis, no European. All right, no Egyptian pass through the Red Sea. No Hamite pass through the Red Sea. No Edomite. No Moabite, no Ammonite. No. Only the Hebrew Israelite passed through the Red Sea. So why would he be talking in the New Testament, in the land, in the Corinthians, which I guess is in Greece? Why would he be saying that? Because he was talking to his people, man.
And in verse 2, it even explains it even further. So this is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, and verse 2. And were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat.
And they all eat the same spiritual meat. Alright?
Verse 4. And did all drink the same spiritual drink. Now remember, Yahushua, he's the living water and he's the bread of life. So when you read the scriptures through the Spirit, you understand what it's actually saying. It's not just physically food and drink. It's also spiritual.
That's right.
For they drank of the spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Hamashiach Yahushua.
People don't understand that Yahushua was there. He was like the demon-like power.
That's right.
That was following them. Let's go quickly to Exodus 23. Because people need to know, man, what's going on, man.
Exactly right.
Yeah, people need to know what's going on.
Exactly right. Because it's a stumbling block. My people suffer through a lack of knowledge.
And Yahushua, through that, you understand Yahushua came for his people.
That's
man.
right. When he said, he
All right.
declared it himself. I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So what's the problem, man? Why do you want to cling on us? You know, it don't make sense, man. 23, 19. No, that's not Exodus. What am I talking about? I'll find it, don't worry.
Yeah, but while you're finding it, let me just read this because I just read this here. So while you're finding it, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 1. Thou shalt not raise a false report. So I'm sending this out now to Pastor Pork Chop, Pastor Pepperoni, and all these Christian buggards that will not follow the scriptures
That's right.
and rightfully discern the word of the Most High. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Do not tell Bani Yashala that it's okay to eat pork. Do not tell Bani Yashala you can go and shave your face and all of that. Right?
That's right.
Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Right?
That's right. Go to 120.
Exodus 20.
Yeah.
So this is the book of Exodus, chapter 2, and verse 20. And it reads, and he said unto his daughters, and where is...
No. Exodus 23 and 20.
Oh, sorry. So that is it.
Yeah, because he was saying that, should I read it? You can read, let me read the 1 Corinthians.
So let me get 23 and 20. I feel
Look,
the
look,
dampness
look,
again.
I'm not trying to, that's why. Look how
Yeah. This is how our daughters of Zion are supposed to dress. I don't know if the camera can catch it, but this is how the daughters of Zion should dress.
seriously, I'm tired of this, man.
You don't have to be like these Greeks. Bug out.
Bring the certain you wonder every day, like.
That's
That'll make you laugh, man. That's the church right
No, but you know the funny thing is, that's actually a Hebrewism, you know, because the scriptures say if a woman would not cover her head, it's best she shave her head.
Yeah.
So she's.
But it's a shame for her. That's
that's the point.
No, but that was a way of saying. That was like an image to say like
It's a shame. It is shameful.
But you didn't tell it to raise. That's a
I know.
shame.
It is a shame.
It's a double.
Shining. It's shining, man.
She looked like.
Yo, man, that's a bug.
She was the representation of the Farkas.
Yeah.
Farkas, yeah. 1 Corinthians 10, right? And 4. And did all drink the same spiritual drink.
That's right.
For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them.
That's right.
And that rock was a Mashiach.
That's
now,
right.
Read the verse 20, and they will understand that Yahushua was there
from
with
the
us.
beginning. So this is the book
of was there, man. That's why he came. He was the one that guided the Hebrew Israelites out of Egypt.
And
he's the one that came to die for us. And he's the one that coming back to save us. What don't you get? He didn't come for any other nation.
I'm gonna add to the scholarship now. So we call Yahushua Hamashiach, right? Moses in Paleo Hebrew is Masha, which means anointed.
That's right.
And Joshua in Paleo Hebrew means Yahushua.
That's right.
So Moses or Masha led our people from Egypt into the wilderness, and Yahushua led our people from the wilderness into the promised land. So that's showing you that Yahushua Hamashiach led us from Egypt to the wilderness to the promised land. So this is the book of Exodus chapter 23 and verse 20.
Yeah.
And it reads, Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way, and to bring thee into the place, which I have prepared.
That's right.
Verse 21. Beware of him.
So Yahushua is the one. But when you look in that angel, it's Malach. Angel
messenger.
in no. Malak mean king.
Well,
But angel is Shena'an. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when you look in the Hebrew,
yeah,
angel will be Shena'an.
right.
But here, it's not Shena'an, it's Malak. And if you go back, who was the king of kings? Who's the king of kings?
The King of Kings is Yahweh,
Exactly.
without a doubt.
So that would be him. You see, that's what people have to study, man. You have to study to understand certain things in the Bible. Because a lot of brothers say Malachiam is not. Malak is king. Malak is not messenger. Malak means king.
Well, let me add to the scholarship. So you have Malak spelled M-A, I'm using colloquial terms, M-A-L-A-K, that means king. And then you have Malak spelled M-A-L-A-C-H-A-A-A. But when the C-H-A-A-A is at the end of the letter, you drop the A-A-A sound. So you have Malak and Malak. It's hard to distinguish the difference.
But here it's Shena'an.
Right.
Alright? Because when you pray in Hebrew Israelite, in Hebrew, and you say, send your powerful, or send the powerful, or the mighty angel
That's
to protect
right.
me.
That's right.
You say, Shalak, Gabaralafa,
Right.
Shena'an,
That's right.
Shena'an,
That's right.
Shana'an,
That's right.
La,
3 times.
Tadanaya,
That's right.
Mayan, Rayam, Mayan, Tazara.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? So
That's right.
what it's talking about. But here, instead of Shana'an, it's Malak. Because that's what he was saying. Look, that's what he was saying here. Look, he said,
And by the
and
way,
they-
you know I'm going to research this.
of course. And he said, and they all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of the spiritual, that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was who?
Yahweh Shai.
Right, now read
Right.
20 now. It will make sense.
Right. So this Exodus 23 and verse 20. Behold,
Right,
I send an angel,
Right.
I send a king
right.
before thee
Right.
to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared.
So who did that?
Yahweh Shai.
So that's not that's not a common angel.
No.
That's Malak.
That's right.
Alright, that's the kings of kings. Malak shall Malak. You get what I'm saying? That's Yahweh Shai himself.
Right.
Now we do.
Right. Verse 21. Now I'm going to put my point at the end anyway. Verse 21. Beware of him. In other words, fear him and respect him. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he would not pardon your transgressions. For my name is in him.
Al-Ashadia,
God.
the demon-like power that put it down for the evil Israelites. Al-Ashadia.
And also,
Alright?
as we always say, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. His name is in him.
That's why you got Yahweh.
That's
you got
right.
Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
In
His name is in
from
him.
Yahweh Shai, you can take off Yahweh.
Yeah, the name's in there.
Alright? So from Ahaya, you cannot take the Shai.
No.
The Shai is going to take Yahweh.
Exactly.
And when he says his name is in him, it means like his power
It is in him.
But
Exactly.
also, the code, it's like
It's codified.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
See, the scriptures is clear, man. The scripture is clear. So yeah, that's what I want you
To bring
I
out.
want to bring that to prove to you
Right.
that, you know,
Right.
Yahweh Shai was
Right,
with
so-
us when we came out of
So I'm
Egypt.
going to show you something now. So let me see if I can find it. Chapter 18. Chapter 2:18. Right, here we go. Chapter 2:18. So when you look at Revelation and they talk about the churches, they usually, so I'll read one verse so you can see what I mean. This is Revelation 2, chapter 18. And unto the angel of the church in Thyatira write these things, saith the Son of God, who have his eyes like unto a flame of fire, and his feet are like fine brass. Now the point I want to make is, where it says angel here, but notice it's not capital angel, the other one was capital, this one's small capital. When you go to the notes, it says messenger. A messenger,
So
a messenger
you see-
in
right.
Hebrew is malak, with a CH.
All right.
But this is spelled with a low A. The other one was spelled with a capital A. So you was correct in your translation. So this is just for scholarship and edification.
All right. So with that, I hope you all were edified. Just, know that throughout the New Testament, the Greeks were just, Hebrew Israelites were following after the Greek fashion.
Let me just slice this whole Christian idea. Let's just slice it, just chop it up. The whole New Testament is referring to one people, the Hebrew Israelites. That's why they're citing from the Old Testament, right? Now, because they're using words Greek and Hellen and Gentiles, don't get it twisted. It's just like my brother might call himself a black man, I might call myself black British, an American guy might call himself an African American. These are just words, but underneath it all, we are Hebrew Israelites, right? We are not Gentiles, we are not other people, we are Hebrew Israelites.
That's right. With that, we'll close out. And we'll give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Waha, Racha, Wadash. Boom, Yasharala.
Boom, Yasharala. A Shalak Rayam for that.
That's right.
That has to get a Shalak Rayam.
Yeah, man, that's disturbing.
That's
man.
disgusting, man.
That is disturbing. That's disturbing, man.